So if you have any questions, you can put them in chat. So if you look on the bottom of your screen, there should be a little chat box. Hi, Serena. Hi, Serena and Noah. So it's a little after 10:45, and there are 5 of you. I'm a little surprised, but I want to go over this now. I don't think I want to hold up too long because you guys may have some questions. Can you guys all hear me okay? Can anybody hear me?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, I see you. Hi, Kaylee Archer-Wright. Glad you're here. So I'm going to move the participants over and keep the waiting room. Okay, this is really just kind of a quick session to help you guys know what to expect up through this Friday, because Friday is the end of the grading period. So I want to make sure everybody who hasn't done what they need to do understands that you have the rest of these 5 days to do it in. First, I want to do Zoom etiquette, though, because that's kind of important. So I'm sure if you're here, you've already done the Zoom Chrome extension. I've already muted your microphones. We don't really want to hear a whole bunch of voices all at once, but if we have a question and I want you to unmute your microphone, I'll let you do that. Make sure you're in a quiet setting where there's no distractions, no dogs barking, no younger kids running around making noise. Try not to interrupt when, well, for today, I'm going to go through my part and then I'll open it up for questions, but try not to interrupt. So if you have a little notepad, you can write down your questions because a lot of people say, oh, I forgot already. Welcome, Lee. Let's see. If you have a question, we're going to use this chat room so I can see the chat room. It lights up when someone posts something. I'll be right back. I have to help my sister. Okay, Gabby. So we've already got Gabby in the chat room, so I can figure out what's going on with the chat since I've muted your microphones and many of you have your videos muted too. And when you have questions, let's stay on topic and keep them small so that we only have 45 minutes together, and if everybody has a 2 or 3 minute question, we'll never get through it. Also, please be sure you're listening to everybody else's questions. What happens is usually somebody else asks the exact same question you would have, but you've tuned them out because you're waiting your turn in line. So make sure you're listening to everybody else's. And I hear there's something called Zoom Bomber. So we do have some way of removing you if you're not behaving. So please don't make me remove you if you're not behaving. Also, all sessions are going to be recorded. I want to make sure that you all know that anything you post online is always there in the online universe. So anything that we do in these sessions will be recorded. So let me pause there. Is there any questions about the etiquette or what I expect when we do these live sessions? Nothing? Okay. Well, I want to welcome my 8 participants. I want to move on. Did everybody get a chance to see, just a quick yes or no in the chat room, to see the letter I just sent about 20, 25 minutes ago? Okay, Lee got it. Gabby got it. Noah got it. Leanne got it. Sai got it. Kaylee Archer-Wright got it. Zaria got it. Good. Okay. All right. Were there any questions about the grades? Well, let me actually go over what I want to tell you about the grades. So obviously you guys got to the online chat through the Zoom link, and I'm really pleased to see that so many of you were able to do that. So what we're going to do is host these office hours every Monday and Wednesday. Your time slot is 10:45 to 11:30. So on Monday and Wednesdays, I will be here. For this week, I'm just opening it up for questions. I'm not teaching anything new. I feel like I've already done the teaching the past 2 weeks, and now it's time for everybody who wasn't able to get online to get caught up. So this week is really just about, hi Naylin, welcome. This week is really just about catching you up. If you've already done every assignment, and you can see them in the gradebook, if you've already done every assignment, guess what? You get an early spring break. You get this week and next week. We really are observing spring break, and I think that might have been one of the big questions. On Friday, I'll host office hours for anybody during blocks 1 and 5, 2 and 6, 3 and 7, and that should be 4 and 8 at these times. So I'll be there just sort of hanging out if anybody has any questions, but I won't use this as a class test day. It's just going to be Mondays and Wednesdays for you guys, Tuesdays and Thursdays for my white classes. All right. So I've already told you the grades for marking period 3 do close this Friday. And the work, this was a surprise to me, but they decided to count the alternative learning plan's work grade. So I may have misled some of you and said, don't worry, it's not going to count. It is going to count. But what I've decided to do is if I take out, let's see, it was, I think, 3 homeworks and 2 quizzes and 1 test. If I take out the equivalent of that, then should any of these grades be better, then you're going to actually do better. If these grades are worse than anything, then you won't have lost any ground. So I'm hoping that if nothing else, some of you will come up just because you did so well on the test grade. I'm not doing any more material this week. And also, here's another thing. When you guys go in and look at codes in Google Classroom, it's just easier for me to post every code so that I can do the entire post one time and not 5 separate times. But some of you are still just using any code. I cannot let you guys use other classes' codes because then your name doesn't show up with your class. And if I put a 0 there, it's because I didn't see you take it where you should have taken it. Please don't just say, well, my code didn't work, let me try somebody else's. Email me if your code doesn't work, okay? Welcome, Brady. Your dad told me you'd be here, so welcome. Let's see. So again, spring break is 6 through 10. That's next week. I'm not teaching and I don't plan to be here for anything. So your grades should technically be due this Friday and I shouldn't have to talk to anybody during my spring break about their grades. If you don't get to me by Friday and get everything that you owe me, you're going to miss out because I'm not going to entertain questions during my spring break. And report cards, they're planning on mailing them home on April 20th. Now, let me just talk about next marking period and then I'll open up for your questions. So they are really big about doing the SOL review, regardless of your status on SOLs. A lot of my students want to pull me aside and say, hey, I don't have to take the SOL, so do I have to do this? Well, how am I going to grade you if you don't do the work? So absolutely positively, every one of you will do the work for the SOL review. I'm going to try and make it like interactive games and scavenger hunts. It's not always going to be fun, but I'm going to try and make it fun. Yes, you have to do the work. So do not ask me if you can be exempt from it because you're not taking the SOL, because I have absolutely nothing else to do but SOL reviews, and I'm not going to teach 2 different ways. All right, does everybody understand that we are all SOL reviewing? I'd like to see something in the chat room from all of you. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. All right, so at this point, I am going to open it up to questions. So if you have a question, raise your hand. Do you guys see where it says raise your hand down at the bottom? There should be a little bar that says raise your hand. I'm looking for it myself and I don't see it. So if you click on the bottom, there should be a raise your hand and I can unmute you. Oh, Gabby's saying your raise the hand is at the top of the chat as well. Mine doesn't have that, but yeah, because I don't have to raise my hand. I'm not seeing any hands raised. You know what I'm going to do? I'm just going to go through and unmute you one at a time. Brady, you're talking. You got any questions?
No, I'm good.
You're good? All right. Gabby, it's not letting me unmute you. I think if you have any questions, you might have to Can you hear me? Oh, I hear you. So are you good?
Yeah, I'm good.
Okay. Haley, can you hear me?
Yeah.
Okay, do you have any questions for me?
Yeah. So when do you plan on messing like with the grades?
So until I get more people, like I'm going to say no more than a third of you did everything you were supposed to do. So that leaves a lot of people that I haven't caught up. And I know I just talked to Serena this morning by email and she's going to do all hers. So I don't want to start dropping grades when so many don't even have grades in there, because then what happens is I drop the grades and they take something and they do even worse. And then the grade goes down and they're like, you told me it wouldn't go down from here. So usually I mess with the grades, as you call it, on the day I'm about to submit them. And just because of this crazy virus and how we've all had to adapt to new situations, and so many of you were on field trips on that last day and you couldn't help that you missed the test, I plan to drop more quizzes and tests than I normally do. And so if I drop, say, I know we only took 6 tests, but if I drop 2 or 3 of those, I don't think 3, probably 2, and then I drop like 4 quizzes, it should take care of all the ones that you didn't get to before the break, plus this one if you didn't do as well on it after the, well, not break, after the stay home order. Does that answer your question, Kaylee?
Yeah.
Okay. Let me see who else I want to unmute. I've already been Kathy. Lee, you've been unmuted. Do you have anything for me?
No, I think it makes sense.
Good. Leanne, you've been unmuted. Do you have anything? No, you have not been. Sorry, Leanne, say it again. I thought I had unmuted you, but I wasn't hearing you.
No, I'm good.
Okay. Hang on, somebody's in the waiting room. I gotta go figure out who that was. Who is Sky? Is that you, Skyla? Skyla, is that you?
Yeah.
Okay, all right, I've just unmuted you. Do you have any questions for me?
Mm-mm.
Okay, let me go back to where I was. Let's see, Kaylee, Nayland, you're on. Do you have anything?
No.
Okay. Nayland, well, I'll talk to you later. Let's see. Noah, you're on. Do you have anything?
No, ma'am.
Okay.
Hey, Noah.
How about you, Serena? Do you have anything for me? Wait, I can't hear you, Serena. Try again, Serena.
This is Amarilla.
Yep, I hear you now.
We don't have SOLs this year, but we have to take the SOL review.
Yeah, so here's what they told me. I had to do a training, and what they said is they're going to try and pick you guys up as soon as possible, especially if you're a 9th grader. You've got 3 more years, so they'll probably try it in the fall, but I don't know that for sure, but they want to get you as soon as possible. So what I'm thinking they're going to do is have us review for you, and then in the fall start testing and see if that does it for us.
Oh, so we're going to take the SOLs, but it just won't be this year, this school year.
That was the impression I got from my training. If that changes, I'll let you guys know. But from what she said, yes, you guys are intended to take it. So we are going to do the review. And you know, some of you are not 9th graders. Some of you have already taken and passed a math class, a math SOL while you're in high school. So even those people should be automatically exempt and not have to take it this year, but you still have to do the review because it's all I have to do to teach. And I know you said you're in South Carolina. Have you enrolled in a new school yet?
No, ma'am, not yet because all the coronavirus stuff.
So can I assume that you'll stay with us all the way through the year, even though you're in South Carolina?
I will continue out this year, and then next year I'll switch over to schools down here.
I'm glad to hear that. I'm glad you'll still be in my class. I was worried about that. So what do you think of South Carolina? Is it nice?
It's good, yeah, family and stuff.
What part?
Lawrence.
Lawrence.
It's about an hour away from Columbia.
Okay, good.
Greenville.
Wonderful. All right, let me pick, let's see. Have I done Zaria yet? Zaria, are you there with me?
Hi.
Hi. Do you have any questions?
I'm good.
Okay. So let me see if I've hit everybody. I know I got Cy, Noah, Nayland, Leanne, Lee, Kaylee, Gabby, Brady, Zaria, Sky. Okay. I honestly think that is it. Like I said, I think that most of you have done a good deal keeping up. Some of you didn't realize things were assignments, like the Nearpod. I don't know if you thought that was optional. I know it was bombing on some people and they weren't submitting, but usually I can see if you attempted to get in it. And like if you've even attempted to get in it, it'll put your name up there with zeros across the way. But if you didn't attempt to get in it, I don't even see your name. So please do take the time to go back and do that. I'm trying to boost everybody's grades in every way possible. So if it's a homework grade and you can replace some other homework grade with that, then I hate for you to miss it. Also, I wanted to tell you guys, many of you are not watching my videos because when I go to my YouTube channel, so let's see, when I did the live test review day and then posted it, there were only 7 views on that. When I did topic 11.9, the normal distributions, which I got a lot of questions on the normal distributions homework. A lot of you saw that it was there and you sent it to me, but only 32 of 114 of you watched it. So if you're not even watching the videos, no wonder you're struggling with the homeworks. You got to watch the videos. The longest one I think was 22 minutes. Yep, the longest one was about 23 minutes. And then the others were shorter, 12 minutes, 17, 16, 20. Actually, that's not even you, that's my AP Stats class. But certainly you guys can watch those videos before you plug into the homework. So when I send something to watch, it's no longer supplemental, just helpful. Like I used to send a Khan Academy. If you didn't understand what I taught in class, go back and watch the Khan Academy. Well, now that is the class. So you have to watch the videos in my YouTube channel. And I am watching these scores, and I'm a little bit disappointed that so many people are not watching this. And like a lot of you wondered, are we going to do the alternative lesson plans? Well, I talked about that in one of my first videos. In fact, the first 2 videos, I told you, don't worry about those. Those were not what I wanted to teach you. And some of you were still asking me about that. So please be aware that when we post stuff online now, it is like essential. It's not at all optional at this point. It's not supplemental ever. It's going to be, yeah, you need to do this. Also, there was a question I sent out. Was everybody able to see the video in the, we did a Nearpod lesson, which I was not a fan of, but I only got a few responses on that. So if I'm asking you, are you able to see a video and you're not replying, I can't get feedback on whether it's working or not. So please make sure if there's a question asked, you guys respond. Does anybody have anything for me that they think is not working, that I'm doing something and they're like, no, this is not working for me. I wish you would do it differently. I'm watching the chat room if anybody has something to chat. So if I could, and I'm not sure I can, if I could work it out so that you guys are set in groups and you can be interactive, would you like me to try and attempt that where I can like put you in little pods together and you guys can work on your stuff so you're not doing it all by yourselves? No, Nayland. Nayland, you'd rather do it all by yourself, huh? Okay, Gabby too. All right, but Cy wants group work. So I guess what I'll say is if you have a friend and you guys know how to reach out to each other and you want to work together on homeworks, then that's totally fine. If it's something where it's a graded quiz or test, and I'll make sure I'll let you know no group work on this, then please don't work together. But so far it looks like things have been working out pretty good. Your class has actually done one of the better jobs of keeping up with everything I've had. I see a few of you have not done the test. Let me see. Nayland, I don't see that you've done the test. Somebody just entered and I got to figure out who that was. Welcome, Alexis Denham. How are you? Alexis. I'm not hearing you, Alexis. Huh. I wonder if she even has a mic.
Oh shoot, I'm unmuted.
Alexis, if you can, see if you can open the chat. There you go. Let me know you're here, Alexis, just so I know it's you. Okay, she says it's me. All right, so let me recap what I was saying. So read the letter I sent to everybody. I asked a quick poll at the beginning, did everybody get the letter? And most people said yes. I just sent it out and it talks about grades and what I plan to do. And yes, they are counting these grades. I think they were going to count the alternative lesson plan grades, but they didn't want us to tell you that they were going to be counted until they knew for sure what was going on. Remember for Zoom etiquette to try and show up on time, and remember to keep your questions short. All of your assignments for this marking period are due this Friday. This Friday. Some of you have done everything and I have nothing more I need from you. I am going to drop some number of grades. I haven't determined it yet, but they should be at least the amount of grades that I've just assigned over the past 3 weeks. So if nothing else, those 3 weeks of grades will drop off. But if any of them were better than previous grades, then those grades will stay and the others will drop off. I'm not giving makeup work if you missed a test before the break because I am using the statistics test. Somebody have something? Because I'm going to use the statistics test to make up for any other test.
The Under Armour website.
Can't tell who's talking. I might have to unmute everybody. Okay. Okay. All right. So this is the catch-up week. I'm not teaching anything new. I'm not assigning anything new, but all of the assignments are in Google Classroom, including some PDF files that a lot of you missed. Like there was a normal distribution file. You need to go back, look at it, and if you've already turned it in and I haven't graded it yet, please send me a reminder so I can go look for it. Do not use anybody else's codes for any tests or quizzes. Then that way your name is not where it needs to be. It's in somebody else's class and I may miss you when I go back to log grades. This is how we're going to talk. This is how I'm going to teach the lessons is through Zoom. And I may post some videos ahead of time so that I can get the lesson out really quickly and have you watch it first before we meet. Please make sure you only click the link to the Zoom session during your time and date. Don't try and attend at any other time. I can't be everywhere at once, so I only have certain times where I can meet with you. So only click the link when it's your date and time. We are observing spring break, so you will all be off from the 6th through the 10th. That's next week. And I will not be answering any emails or trying to work with anybody about catch-up grades. So if you haven't met your work by the 3rd of April, that's this Friday, then there will not be any catch-up during the week. Report cards are going out on the 20th. We are doing an SOL review for the 4th marking period. Regardless of whether you need to take the SOL or not, they're going to try and test you in the fall. So there's that. There's a reason for doing the SOL review. It's not just busy work. But even if you don't need to take the test, I will be doing a review for all of us. Oh, and the last thing I wanted was there's a great hotline for tech issues. So if your Chromebook charger's not working or if the screen busted, you can call this hotline at 850-6875. And I've called it dozens of times. I've had little questions here and there about my connection and my internet and my upload speeds. And the people there are absolutely wonderful. They do a great job. In fact, there's even somebody there named Applehome, Jeff Applehome, who helped me. And that reminds me of one of my students. I wonder if that guy's related to you in any way. But anyways, that was basically what I wanted to talk about. So if you guys have nothing else, I'm done. Does anybody else have anything? Noah, is that Eric's dad, do you think? Or Eric's brother, maybe? Don't know. All right. Then I am going to announce that this session is closed. Please read that letter that I sent and send me any questions by email, and I'll try and get back to you immediately. And get busy on that work. I know a number of you still have some things you need to do. If it's listed in Google Classroom, it is an assignment you owe me. Everything is posted in your Google Classroom. Everything is posted. Let's see if I can get to you guys. In this box here under Chapter 11 Statistics. And mine was so big I had to click the View More button to catch all of them. So the Nearpod lesson is at the very bottom. If you haven't done the Nearpod, you have to go through here to do the Nearpod. Looks like 11 of 17 have 11 have turned in, 17 haven't. The permutations and combinations video is here. If it doesn't work in Nearpod, a lot of people said it didn't. These were the notes that I gave you guys after you did the Nearpod. You might want to look at that video. This isn't a Z-score assignment, Brady. This is one of the ones that you hadn't clicked on. So this is what I was telling your dad. You haven't done this one yet. And this is considered homework. And then you took the quizzes later. That was the quiz. Does that make sense to you? Okay, Brady, I see you.
Yeah,
Okay.
it makes sense.
Okay. And then the quizzes codes here, I think these may be old. So you want to go to the quizzes codes on the 26th. I believe I reposted them. Oh, here they are. On the 25th, you'll see new. So if you haven't taken any of the quizzes, these are the codes. Please stick with your classroom. Only use the G1 for you guys. Okay? All right, let's do this. Let's get these grades in so I can get you guys all squared away. I want everybody to do better than they're doing now. That's what I want. So even if you're an A student, I want your A to come up. All right, that's all I have. If you guys are done, I'll wait one last minute to see if there's any private chats or any other chats. You can privately chat me or you can group chat. Otherwise, you guys are free to go. Thanks for showing up. Noah, what do you want to do a retake on?
The test.
Okay, so not until you've done the formative. So
Okay.
if you really want to take a retake, you need to go back and do the formative. Email me that you've done it and I will send you a retake.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay?
Yep.
All right, was that it? Skyla, the test codes are in here at the, these are the new ones, I believe. So if you're looking for your test code because you missed it, did you get your cell phone back, I take it? You ready for that?
I have something to use.
So check that now, Skyla, see if you can get in.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, there's only a few of you left, so is there anything else? Can the retake work for all of, yes, Alexis, let's see, did you do, you've already done the formative, Alexis, so yes, I will send you a new code for that. Let me make a note to that right now. Did you watch the video, Alexis Denham? Alexis, you can talk, I think. No, it's not letting me unmute you. Okay, so if you've already watched the videos and the formative assessment, did you do well on the formative? Do you remember? Check that out. It's not the one I wanted. Check and see. Yeah, you have to go back and finish some of these questions. It looks like you haven't finished them, Alexis Denham. That's you, right? You going to
Yeah.
the thing?
Yeah.
Okay, so yeah, there's a couple questions it looks like you didn't answer. Go back and see if you can catch those. Like how many different ways can you line up 12 students boarding a bus? And there's no response there. So finish that for me and then I'll post you a code, okay?
Okay.
All right. All right. All right, I see a few of you still left here. Zaria, let me see what I got for you. Nope, Zaria, it looks like you need to do both quizzes. Unless you've done them and I haven't checked, I can go back and look. If you give me just a second. Hold on, sorry, I'm gonna stop sharing for just a second, and then I'm gonna look up your quizzes.